So this is southern blush. It's a beautiful fruit when it's ripe, very tasty and very sweet. It's a Florida mango, and this year happens to be a great year for it. We've actually already been picking off of this tree, and we have a lot of fruit left. We're back at Walter's to get a story or two about southern blush.
Southern blush, I'm responsible for naming it. It grew at the south end of a row of mango trees at my dad's home place. Well, my home, not my dad's home place, but it was home to me at my dad's residence east of the railroad. It grew up as a volunteer seedling underneath where a mango tree by the variety name of Eldon, E-L-D-O-N, grew. Now, Eldon is a very beautiful mango, and it's a good eating mango. The problem that we did not like about it was its uneven ripening. It would ripen from the base, and the top would be very firm and hard, not ripening evenly. But one afternoon, Dad and I were standing, I don't know, a few hundred feet west of where the tree was, and just happened to be looking down the driveway, and we had other mango trees around there, of course, and we were discussing names for different mangoes. And as I looked down and I saw the fruit on the tree, it was an open area between where we were, and the sun was shining just like it's behind us here, and it illuminated that tree, and they were all so pretty and really blushing red. I said, why don't we just call that the southern blush, because that's what it looked like on the trees. And it was the southernmost tree in that setting, and it was blushing real pretty. Anyway, we liked it. It's a nice sized fruit that I believe it's not uncommon to find them reaching up around 2 pounds or more, depending on where they're growing, maybe considerably more than that. I've seen them on some mucklands where they're growing. There's a little problem that has come to my ears anyway about the pollination of the fruit, that they would bloom and not set fruit when they were further inland. It seems as though they're more affected by adverse conditions during their blooming season. But near the coast here, if you don't have a problem with it, I'd say it's one of the best mangoes. It's really great, or I wouldn't have put a name to it that I thought was appropriate and would be attractive. One of the things that turned me on so favorably towards it was when I had forgotten a box of those fruit, the southern blush, that was in the trunk of the car. It was a blue car that sat out in the sun for a couple of days, and then it reminded me, I got fruit in the trunk of that car, and I went out and raised the trunk of the car and opened it. They smell like ripe mangoes, and the skin was oily from the heat, and it just oozing out, and you touch them, they feel oily. But I cut into them and started to eat them, and they did not have an overripe taste. They were very delicious and good, even as ripe as they were. And I can't say that about a tremendous number of different mangoes. Everybody has their preferences and degrees of ripeness, but I think that southern blush has a big tolerance towards when it will taste good if you let it ripen up in color and sit around for a day, maybe longer than it should. It should still be a good tasting mango. That's my opinion. You can have yours.
In the mid-1960s, southern blush first fruited in the Zill Grove in Boynton Beach, Florida. Pedigree analysis in 2005 estimated that southern blush was a Hayden-Cushman cross, but the accuracy of this analysis is in question. At the time the seed that originated southern blush was planted, the Zills did not own a Cushman tree. Furthermore, the southern blush seedling grew under the canopy of an Eldon tree, a variety which seems to share many qualities with southern blush. Recent DNA studies by the USDA have used improved technology and a more extensive database, and might produce different results for southern blush than the 2005 Pedigree analysis did. Southern Blush is a vigorous tree with a moderately dense canopy. With regular pruning, it can be kept as a small or medium-sized tree. Southern Blush has good resistance to fungal diseases, though trees in South Florida that are not near the coast often need to be sprayed with fungicide to set fruit. This variety has some susceptibility to bacterial spot. Here's a ripe fruit. They get even more gorgeous, but here you are. Hoping for one. That's a nice olive stem, so that one was ready to pick. Southern Blush mangoes typically weigh between 22 and 26 ounces and normally ripen in June and July. Southern Blush is a beautiful fruit. The base color of its skin is greenish yellow to yellow, and it often has a large, brilliant red blush. Its flesh has a smooth texture and very little fiber. Its flavor is sweet, juicy, and peachy. Southern Blush has been a very popular variety at Truly Tropical. Tasting evaluations rate Southern Blush as good to excellent.